Social media, it can dominate our lives. I mean, I was just on my phone. It's everywhere, and that's especially true for kids. I mean, it was huge, and then the pandemic made social media even bigger. The Department of Health and Human Services says kids spent nearly 8 hours a day in front of a screen last year, and that does not include the remote learning. It also reports that 81% of people 14 to 22 years old use social media either daily or almost constantly. All that comes as health experts say social media is helping to fuel a youth mental health emergency. I'm Tanya Rivera. From now until 6 o'clock, we're digging into the issue and what experts say needs to happen to fix it. We start with this. Instagram CEO testified in front of Congress to defend claims the platform is not doing enough to protect children. CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports that lawmakers want change and they want it now.
Now I recognize that many in this room have deep reservations about our company.
In the Senate hot seat, Instagram head Adam Mosseri pushed back on claims the app can be toxic for teens.
Instagram is addictive.
Respectfully, I don't believe the research suggests that our products are addictive.
Mosseri's first appearance on Capitol Hill follows leaked internal documents showing the app proved harmful to young girls, increasing anxieties about body image and encouraging some teens to even contemplate suicide. He told senators Instagram supports an industry-wide body to determine best practices for safety issues like verifying age, building age-appropriate experiences, and effective parental controls.
I think we have to reach the point where we realize some real bad stuff is happening. And you're the new tobacco, whether you like it or not, and you've got to stop selling the tobacco.
15-year-old Mason Bogard died after apparently attempting a choking challenge he saw online. His mother, Joanne.
I think now's the time for Congress to pass the legislation so that we can hold big tech accountable for these things that they're letting slide through. They're harming our kids.
Ahead of the hearing, Instagram announced new safety tools that will encourage teens to take a break after prolonged use and will soon roll out its first set of parental controls. The senators were not impressed.
For me, this is a case of too little, too late.
3 hours a day, is that a good use of kids' time?
I'm a parent. I ultimately think that a parent knows best what's best for their teen, so the appropriate amount of time should be a decision by a parent about the specific teen.
One senator told Mosseri, when Instagram sees kids, the company sees dollar signs, but parents should see stop signs. It's becoming increasingly clear there is growing bipartisan support for new regulations of big tech, particularly when it comes to children and teens. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
Well, other social media sites have also made safety changes recently. Facebook does not allow minors to share their location on its site. It also launched specific messaging apps geared towards kids that give parents direct control of who the kids can message. Now, YouTube requires video creators to label content specifically made for kids so that they can protect children. In this event, it protects the site from collecting data and it turns off certain features like the comment feature. One of the biggest apps out there right now is TikTok. The company announced in September they reached more than 1 billion users worldwide. Children account for a fourth of all the users in the U.S. TikTok also has safety features in place. Parents can turn on restricted mode. The app filters out content that may not be appropriate for children, and parents can also add time limits to that app. Well, parents say they're having a really hard time keeping up with the social media boom. Some even say their children are addicted. They think social media has good uses for kids, though, so it's not as simple as just taking everything away.
I find that the school does use Facebook Live during COVID.
If you remove those apps, I can't remove the fact that this is a part of her reality.
Well, lawmakers continue to push for more restrictions on the platform since they are so widespread. Well, it's obvious social media is not going anywhere. We talked with an expert from North Carolina A&T to learn what it takes to keep kids safe online. And he says, yep, starts at home with the parents.
A lot of parents are pressuring Congress to do something about bringing in social media techies, and parents have a responsibility too. They should be limiting their children's access to social media.
So Dr. Smith says schools can help prepare kids by teaching media literacy. He thinks children need to know how to handle social media before actually being immersed in it, kind of like a car.
The problem is the media control us, we don't control it. Has exampled by our time on social media and related issues.
Well, the U.S. Surgeon General released an advisory this week on how to protect children's mental health during this emergency. It is dozens of pages long, but it includes more than 20 pages of recommendations on how we all can chip in and help. The Surgeon General talks about everyone from parents to educators, employers, journalists. We're going to post his recommendations to our website so that you can read all of it. But right now we're going to focus on parents and social media sites. The Surgeon General says families can do a bunch of things to support a child's mental health, and that includes monitoring how much time they spend online. He says keep up with how long they're on social media and what they're viewing. And social media can be beneficial for sure, but kids can also get exposed to negative interactions. The Surgeon General had plenty of recommendations for social media companies as well. He says they need to make sure that their apps are safe for children. He thinks companies don't account for different user experiences across different various age groups. And the Surgeon General also says companies should continue developing tools to keep kids safe online. Now, there's clearly a whole lot to consider when addressing mental health. We talked with a psychologist from App State to get a better idea of where things stand here in our state. He says expanding treatment options could go a long way.
There's always a lot of talk about stigma, and that still remains true. And I think the best way to promote the benefits of help seeking is to offer many more options. In other words, it can't be true anymore that we just offer a single type of intervention. We have to be really creative. We have to be ready to do things that are maybe a lighter touch.
All right, and so we know there's not going to be any lack of social media. It's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. As we learned today, we all have a role to play in keeping kids safe online. Even the little things can add up.